They say that wisdom comes with age, but what if I told you that some of our daily habits, things we've done for decades, are secretly cutting years off our lives? And I'm not talking about obvious things like smoking or eating junk food. No, these are habits so small, so routine, that you may not even realize they're shaving time off your lifespan, especially after the age of 70. If you're watching this and you've already hit that milestone, or you have loved ones who have, this video is for you. We'll uncover 7 surprising daily habits that could be working against you, silently reducing your life expectancy. Some of them may seem harmless. Some may even feel necessary. But by the end of this video, you might just rethink a few of your routines. And before we get into it, I have a quick question for you. What's one habit you've had for decades that you don't think you could ever give up? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Also, if you find this kind of content valuable, consider subscribing. Your support keeps us going. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's start with habit number 1. It's something nearly everyone over 70 does, and it's more dangerous than you think. Habit number 1. Sitting for long periods. Think about this. How much time do you spend sitting each day? Whether it's reading, watching TV, or just resting after a meal, sitting feels harmless, even necessary. But what if I told you that sitting too much is one of the biggest silent killers after age 70? A 2017 study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that adults who sit for more than 12 hours a day have a 200% higher risk of premature death compared to those who move regularly. That's not just a small difference. That's doubling your risk. Why is sitting so dangerous? Here's what happens inside your body when you stay seated for long periods. Your circulation slows down, increasing the risk of blood clots, especially in the legs. Your muscles weaken, leading to loss of mobility and a higher chance of falls. Your metabolism slows down, making it easier to gain weight and harder for your body to regulate blood sugar levels, a major concern for anyone at risk of diabetes. Your brain function declines, since physical movement plays a key role in keeping your mind sharp. Now, let's be real. No one's saying you need to be running marathons at 75, but the key is breaking up long periods of sitting. Every 30 to 60 minutes, stand up, stretch, walk around, or do light exercises. Even just marching in place for a minute can help keep your circulation going. So here's a challenge. Next time you catch yourself sitting for too long, set a timer and get up. And tell me in the comments, what's your favorite way to stay active? Even if it's just a small movement? Let's share some ideas to keep each other moving. Now, moving on to habit number 2. It's something people do to relax, but in reality, it could be making you age faster. Habit number 2. Too much television or screen time. Picture this. It's a quiet evening. You're settled into your favorite chair, the TV remote in one hand, maybe a warm cup of tea in the other. The news is on, or maybe an old favorite movie. It's relaxing, right? But what if I told you that this simple habit, hours of screen time, might be accelerating aging and silently cutting years off your life? Let's talk science. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that for every hour of TV watched after the age of 25, life expectancy drops by 22 minutes. Imagine what that adds up to over decades. But why does this happen? Your brain goes into passive mode. Long hours of screen time reduce cognitive engagement, leading to faster mental decline and increasing the risk of dementia. Sleep disruption. The blue light from screens interferes with melatonin production, making it harder to get restful sleep, which is critical for cellular repair and longevity. Sedentary behavior. As we just discussed, prolonged sitting is already a major risk factor. Add to that the inactivity that comes with watching TV, and it becomes a dangerous combo. Stress and anxiety. The type of content we consume matters. Constant exposure to negative news or overstimulating entertainment can raise cortisol levels, which speeds up aging and weakens the immune system. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not giving up my TV. And you don't have to. The key is moderation. Try limiting screen time to no more than 2 to 3 hours a day and replacing some of that with brain-boosting activities like reading, puzzles, or even just chatting with friends and family. Here's a quick challenge. What's one non-screen activity you love doing? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. Now, let's move on to habit number 3. This one is sneaky because it's something many people believe is just part of aging, but in reality, it's a warning sign that shouldn't be ignored. Habit number 3, ignoring constant fatigue. Let me ask you this. Have you ever said to yourself, I guess I'm just tired because I'm getting older? If so, you're not alone. Many people over 70 experience fatigue and simply accept it as part of aging. But here's the truth. Persistent fatigue is not normal, and ignoring it could be cutting years off your life. Take, for example, John. He's 74, retired, and enjoys his mornings with a cup of coffee and the newspaper. But lately, he's been feeling exhausted, even after a full night's sleep. He chalks it up to age and pushes through. What he doesn't realize is that his body is sending him a warning sign. Fatigue isn't just getting older. It's often a symptom of an underlying health issue like heart disease. Poor circulation can reduce oxygen levels, making you feel drained. Diabetes, uncontrolled blood sugar can cause extreme tiredness. Thyroid problems, an underactive thyroid slows metabolism, leading to chronic fatigue. Depression, fatigue isn't always physical. Mental health plays a huge role in energy levels. And here's the shocking part. People who feel persistently fatigued have a 40% higher risk of early death, according to research from Penn State University. That's because fatigue isn't just about feeling sleepy. It's your body struggling to function properly. So what should you do? Don't ignore it. If you feel constantly drained, don't assume it's just old age. Talk to a doctor, check for vitamin deficiencies, monitor your heart health, and look at your sleep patterns. Small changes, like improving your diet, staying hydrated, and managing stress, can make a huge difference. Now, tell me, have you ever experienced unexplained fatigue? If so, what helped you feel better? Share your thoughts in the comments. Next, let's talk about habit number 4. This one is something people think is safe, but in reality, it could be increasing the risk of falls and hospital visits. Habit number 4. Relying too much on walkers or canes. Imagine this. You're walking across the living room, holding onto your cane or walker, feeling steady and secure. It feels like the safest way to move around, right? But what if I told you that over-relying on these mobility aids might actually be weakening your body and increasing your risk of falls? Let's talk about Mary, an 81-year-old woman who started using a walker after a minor fall. At first, it gave her confidence, but over time, she started using it all the time, even when she didn't need it. Her legs became weaker, her balance got worse, and one day, she tripped over her own walker. What was meant to help her had actually made her more fragile. This happens because muscles weaken when they're not used. When you rely on a walker too much, your leg and core muscles lose strength, making it harder to stand or balance on your own. Posture suffers. Many people hunch over their walker, leading to back pain and a higher risk of spinal issues. Reflexes slow down. When you stop practicing natural movement, your body reacts slower to obstacles, increasing the risk of falls. Now, don't get me wrong, walkers and canes are lifesavers when used correctly, but they should be tools, not crutches. If you can still walk short distances without one, do it. Focus on strength and balance exercises, like standing on one foot, light leg lifts, or even chair yoga. Studies show that older adults who stay active can cut their fall risk by up to 50%. So here's a question for you. Do you or someone you know use a cane or walker? If so, how do you balance safety with staying active? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Up next, habit number 5. This one seems harmless, even comforting, but it could be silently damaging your brain. Habit number 5. Not drinking enough water. Let me ask you this. How many glasses of water did you drink today? If the answer is not enough, you're not alone. As we age, our sense of thirst weakens, meaning many people over 70 simply don't feel thirsty, even when their body desperately needs hydration. But here's the shocking part. Dehydration can shorten your life expectancy. Let's look at the science. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that people with higher levels of sodium in their blood, caused by dehydration, had a 50% higher risk of premature death. But it's not just about longevity. Chronic dehydration can accelerate aging, weaken the immune system, and even damage brain function. Here's what happens when you don't drink enough water. Your blood thickens, making your heart work harder. This increases the risk of high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. Your kidneys struggle to filter toxins. This can lead to kidney disease and an increased risk of infections. Your brain slows down. Even mild dehydration can cause confusion, memory problems, and dizziness, making falls more likely. Your joints stiffen. Water keeps your cartilage and tissues lubricated. Without it, movement becomes painful and mobility declines. And here's something most people don't realize. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. That's why drinking water consistently throughout the day is so important. So what's the solution? Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. If plain water isn't appealing, try herbal teas, flavored water, or eating water-rich foods like cucumbers and watermelon. Set a reminder if you tend to forget. Your body will thank you. Now, tell me, how do you remind yourself to drink water throughout the day? Let's share some hydration tips in the comments. Next, let's talk about habit number 6. This one affects millions of older adults, yet it's rarely discussed. It could be harming your health in ways you never expected. Habit number 6. Eating too little protein. Think about your last meal. Was there enough protein on your plate? Most people focus on eating less fat, fewer carbs, or just eating light. But what if I told you that not getting enough protein after age 70 can speed up aging, weaken your body, and even shorten your life? Let's look at Bob, a 75-year-old man who started losing weight over the past few years. He wasn't dieting, it just happened naturally. His arms and legs became thinner, his energy dropped, and getting up from a chair started feeling like a workout. What Bob didn't realize was that he was losing muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia, and one of the biggest causes. Not eating enough protein. Here's what happens when older adults don't get enough protein. Muscle loss accelerates. After 70, people can lose 3 to 5% of their muscle mass each year if they're not getting enough protein and staying active. Bones become weaker. Protein is essential for keeping bones strong and preventing fractures. The immune system weakens. Your body needs protein to produce antibodies and fight off infections. Wounds take longer to heal. Without enough protein, skin and tissues repair more slowly, making recovery from injuries or surgery harder. So how much protein do you actually need? Experts recommend at least 60 to 80 grams of protein per day for older adults. That might sound like a lot, but it's easier than you think. Just add eggs, beans, chicken, fish, nuts, or even Greek yogurt to your meals. If chewing is a challenge, try protein shakes or soft foods like cottage cheese. Now, tell me, what's your favorite high-protein food? Drop it in the comments. You might inspire someone to add it to their diet. Coming up next, habit number 7. This one is so common that most people don't even realize they're doing it, but it could be taking years off their life. Habit number 7. Not getting enough social interaction. Imagine this. You wake up, have breakfast, maybe watch some TV, go about your day, and before you know it, the sun is setting. You realize you haven't talked to anyone all day. Maybe a quick phone call here and there, but nothing deep, nothing truly connecting. It seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that loneliness is just as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day? Yes, you heard that right. A 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found that social isolation increases the risk of early death by nearly 30%. And it's not just about emotional well-being. Loneliness weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, and increases the risk of dementia. Why does this happen? Lack of conversation weakens cognitive function. Your brain thrives on engagement. Without regular social interaction, memory and problem-solving skills decline faster. Loneliness raises stress hormones. Chronic loneliness increases cortisol levels, which can lead to heart disease and inflammation. Less motivation to stay active. People who socialize regularly are more likely to get outside, move around, and engage in life. Now, I know making new friends at this stage of life isn't always easy. But here's the good news. You don't need hundreds of friends to stay healthy. Just 1 or 2 meaningful social interactions per day can make a world of difference. Here are a few ways to stay socially active. Join a local group or club. Whether it's a book club, gardening group, or fitness class, staying engaged helps keep you mentally and physically sharp. Call or video chat with loved ones. Even a 10-minute conversation can boost your mood and lower stress. Volunteer or mentor. Sharing wisdom and experience with younger generations is not only fulfilling, but also keeps your mind engaged. Now, tell me, who's the person you talk to the most each week? Let's celebrate the people who keep us connected. Drop their name, or just their role, like my grandson or my best friend, in the comments. And with that, we've covered 7 hidden habits that could be silently shortening life expectancy after 70. But before you go, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. Keep watching. This last message is important. Conclusion: small changes, big impact. Now, let's take a moment to reflect. Out of these 7 daily habits, how many do you recognize in your own life? Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe all of them. If so, don't panic. It's never too late to make a change. Here's what I want you to remember. Longevity isn't just about luck. It's about the choices we make every single day. Small changes, like standing up more often, staying hydrated, eating enough protein, and keeping in touch with loved ones, can add years to your life and life to your years. And the best part? You don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Pick one habit to work on this week. Maybe it's setting a reminder to drink more water. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Every step counts. Now, before you go, I have 2 quick favors to ask. Comment below, what's one habit from this list that you're going to work on first? Let's encourage each other to make positive changes. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us continue bringing valuable content. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.